From the bottom to the top, I'm rising. With every step I reach for the sky, burning bright like the African sun. I won't stop till my victory is won. I rise up, never give you up the fight. I'm gonna make it, I'll reach the greatest height. No one can hold me down, I'm breaking free. I'm on my way to success, just watch and see. From the bottom to the top, I'm rising. With every step I reach for the sky, burning bright like the African sun. I won't stop till my victory is won. I rise up, never give you up the fight. I'm gonna make it, I'll reach the greatest height. No one can hold me down, I'm breaking free. I'm on my way to success, just watch and see. From the bottom to the top, I'm rising. With every step I reach for the sky.
Thank you, everybody. Always a delight to hang out with us. Let's give everybody else another 30 seconds and we get started. Let's go, everybody. Thank you all. Thank you, everybody.
Burning bright like the African sun. I won't stop till my victory is won. I rise up, never give you up the fight. I'm gonna make it, I'll reach the greatest height. No one can hold me down, I'm breaking free. I'm on my way to success, just watch and see. From the bottom to the top, I'm rising. With every step I reach for the sky, burning bright like the African sun. I won't stop till my victory is won. I rise up, never give you up the fight. I'm gonna make it, I'll reach the greatest height. No one can hold me down, I'm breaking free. I'm on my way to success, just watch and see. From the bottom to the top, I'm rising. As I step into the rhythm of the night.
All right, welcome everybody. Always a delight to hang out with you all. Thank you all for taking the time to hang out tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, 7:03 US Central Time. We'll try and be efficient. I want to make sure my commitment is to make it one of the best 60 minutes of your day as much as possible. So let's try and learn from each other. Hopefully, you leave here with one or two things that can make you better and add value to you. So thank you all. Half of the battle really is showing up. So for doing that, thank you, everybody. All right, cool. So tonight is going to be very straight to the point. Execute. Just focus on what we've talked about so far and how can we talk about this in an interview setting. I think that's ultimately what we should be looking out for. And for some of you that are just part of our community, you want to learn a lot of things, this is the right place to keep learning, adding value to yourself every day. And the beautiful thing is that incremental value makes a world of difference. So you can imagine every day a little bit of 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Over time, your body of work will just make you stand out. That's the reality of it, really. Nobody's a genius, nobody is super smart. Sometimes it's just a little bit of hedge. That little 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes over time becomes very tangible for most of us at the end of the day. So for that, thank you, everybody. So one thing I would like, if you don't mind, give us a like real quick so that we can have more people join the network and the community as always. So we would appreciate that a lot. Just give us a like real quick. And tonight, what we try to do as much as possible is, yes, believe it or not, we're in our third week, the final week. You cannot afford to miss it. Oh, Lord, it's crazy. I'll tell you why. And for those of you that have been part of the ecosystem of cybersecurity, you must have been hearing of NIST framework. NIST framework, it's one of our popular framework out there, cybersecurity framework, right? It's just some guideline, best practice to use. Recently, after almost 11, 12 years or so, they implemented some updates to the framework, which is amazing. One of the big one is a section called governance. Now, what we've done at SkillWith will blow your mind. And honestly, Every one of us, hopefully next week you'll see the full playbook. It is crazy. What you would have, Andy, is a full-fledged documentation that you can use as a playbook to go do an assessment. Bingo, crazy stuff. And it's not just within our community, it's going to be a global thing we push out there, but it's new, but I've not seen anyone develop that. It's not just telling us what the framework is, but we are saying, okay, within our community, from our experience, our expertise with other industry thought leaders, these are some standard questions that should be asked, and these are some ideal point of contact you should meet. It's just crazy. Good stuff, folks. So what I'm gonna do, which is I'm super excited about, is I'm gonna use it for my community, our community first. So on Saturday, naturally, charity begins at home before I throw it to other people. I'm gonna make sure I use that as a guide for the class. So make sure you are part of our WhatsApp group. I'm going to send it there, or make it something you download on our website, but you would have access to this documentation at the crude form. We're still going to make it a published book that's still going to be ongoing, but hopefully next week we have that ready. But at least you would have access to this document. It's crazy, crazy stuff. The beautiful thing about it is, if you're on this call today, I guarantee you, with the knowledge you get from that on Saturday, you can actually go do assessment for consulting organization. Yes, easily. I mean, yes, you can go charge $120, $150 an hour job, doing consulting to do an assessment of the environment. Yes. I know it might sound crazy, but that's really what you would need, because now you're not just telling them some old framework, you're telling them, hey, listen, guys, including the new update. Now, don't forget, this update came out last week. Crazy stuff, amazing. So, you, my friends, are going to be top notch in front of everybody else in terms of the knowledge base. I tell you one thing, because of my prior consulting knowledge, so I know the drill. I'll tell you one thing, a lot of the big consulting firm you can think of right now, strategy, management consulting, everybody will be coming up to try and develop something, right, for the market. But we have developed it already, to be honest. So, and we are giving it free in our own community. So I'll tell you this, take it to the bank. The value of what we are going to share to our community, easily, no exaggeration, is an easy $1 to $5 million pipeline. What that simply means is that you can use it to do multiple job solves, so many clients in the lifespan of 5 years, easily. So the pipeline and the knowledge base you would have with that. So I don't know, I'm just giving you crazy ideas. Maybe your life or story was okay, maybe I want to be a consultant. I don't know your story. You could use those kind of guideline and template to really do consulting service. That's where I'm going with that. So take advantage of it. Make sure you're part of it so that you can know how to use it. It's very self-explanatory, but it's crazy stuff. Make sure you're part of it on Saturday. And my community, we will be the first to at least see it. I'll give you all the draft, the main document itself. I'll bring that out. We are working with our publishers now, so maybe next week, perhaps towards the end of next week, we would have access to that. So just look out for that. Once you see that, just jump on it. Once again, smash like. So let's quickly recap. As always, we like to quickly do a quick recap before we jump into what we got. So, what have we done so far? Some of you that have showed up in the last, survived us in the last 3 weeks, the story is simple. We put together some thoughts and said, what are some key skills that I think if you master well and you articulate in an interview, you instantly build credibility because they are relatable issue. So our journey started by saying, okay, let's use one of the most attacked industry in the world today, healthcare. And what has happened in the last few years has been crazy, the last 2 years especially. You know, um, the attackers target vulnerabilities. Unfortunately, healthcare have been slow adopters to a lot of trends and technologies. So naturally, because they are not really as up to date, they are soft, easy targets. The same thing for NGOs. So a lot of soft target have been attacked the last few weeks. It's crazy stuff. Really, it's very embarrassing. Today I called, a healthcare to schedule an appointment, and within the network, they could not schedule appointment. It was so embarrassing, really, for 2 days. Yeah, this is crazy stuff. So, and of course, they didn't tell me the details, but I know what's going on. Of course, so they've been attacked. They couldn't schedule appointment for the last 2 days. Think about the financial loss for that healthcare network. It's crazy stuff. But anyway, so we started with healthcare, and we said an healthcare system wants to deploy one of their largest devices. They have MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, and X-ray machines. They want to deploy to the network. And we said before they do that, they needed a risk assessment. And we went into the details. We did risk assessment. If you say that in an interview, honestly, you make me comfortable because I understand you get the concept. And you tell me you assess the vulnerability and the threat. You look at the likelihood of occurrence, the impact on the business, the overall residual inherent risk. When you say that to me, I feel comfortable. You took it a step further and said, okay, the second thing you did also was you had to consider cloud service providers that will be providing you service to the cloud. And before you did that, you did two things. One, you issued vendor questionnaires and you look at the tiers of the vendors and you did comparison of the vendors and you selected different vendors based on criteria of strength for each of those vendors, right? After we did that, we said, okay, now we've selected one, let's do a third party risk assessment to do an assessment of this vendor that is potentially coming to our organization. Now, don't forget, we also showed the use case of Target. Target is a retail store in the US. How, 2013, they were attacked. They had 110 million record of credit card information compromised. They were fined. All the leadership were fired. It was a reputational damage. Their stock fell crazy by probably 6, 7% or something like that. And it was really embarrassing and bad. Till now, almost 11 years, we are still talking about Target as a poster child of third party violation. And what happened to Target? AC maintenance folks just came in. Unfortunately, they needed access to the network. Regular routine maintenance brought down a giant. It was so embarrassing, right? Okay. So, because of that, every one of us must make third party a priority, right? It's a big deal for any organization. Then the third thing we talked about this week, we went into every environment, no matter how good they are or how compliant they have been historically, would always have issues. The issues might vary, and we said, okay, in our case, because those issues need a structured way of communicating to your leadership, and not just to the leadership, even to yourself. So we came up with a concept that has been around for many years. It started by the Air Force, then very well adopted for triaging by the medical field mostly. So we have situation, the background, the analysis you do, then finally your recommendation. So it's just a structured way of making sure you can communicate issues within any environment. Really, it can be anything. Honestly, we can even use it for our own personal life. And it's okay. All right, I have this issue I'm dealing with. Can I use SBAR to communicate to my, a family member, and an issue that you think it's very complex and you want to communicate it in your mind mentally say, okay, I'm communicating. This is the situation I have. This was the background, the context to the situation. This is my analysis of what has happened. And this is the recommendation. Remember again, every leader would not just want you to tell them the problem. The value we bring is yes, you've identified the problem, step one. And let's face it, most of the time, even a regular tool can identify a problem, really. It's not like we are doing anything special. The value you and I bring is helping to fix those problems. Now, remember again, it's not enough to tell me you want to fix my problem because our resources are not unlimited, really. You have to think about how do we prioritize what is most important within our environment. We can all agree on that, right? So most people would triage by saying, okay, which one is critical, which one is high, which one is medium, then which one is low, naturally, right? So those are the concepts. So tonight, two things we're going to do. I'm going to quickly just jump in, as always, for those of us new to our program. We love to do some quizzing, all right? So we're going to do a quick Kahoot, just kind of make sure that nobody is sleeping on me right here. So we're going to do a quick Kahoot, very simple, straight to the point. We just want to see, just test our knowledge a little bit and see to make sure nobody's sleeping. Let me find trouble a little bit. We like to use some, let maybe today we go all in on basketball. Okay, let's do basketball. Let's do San Antonio Spurs. All right, San Antonio Spurs. Oh, you know what? Let me cause more problem. Let's start with soccer. Arsenal. Fans don't get crazy on me. All right. Chelsea. Okay, I'm causing more crisis here. All right, then let's sneak in one of the, let's say Man City this time around. Sorry, Man U fans. To the City this time around. All right, let's see what we got. So let's go to Kahoot. The pin is 5407331. If you've never used Kahoot, it's a fun game. Just go to kahoot.it. Kahoot is spelled KAHOOT.it. Very easy. And I'll try and copy it to our chat also. You can pick it up from there also. Let's see if we can quickly sneak that in. All right. Somebody said Barcelona. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I saw that late. Oh man, you all are awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's have more of us join the Kahoot. If you've never used Kahoot, it's a pretty awesome tool, guys, ladies. We get to just see some of those things, learn, interact, and just have fun doing it. Don't forget, at the end of the day, the goal is just to make sure we can maximize ourselves, our potential, and more importantly, use these use cases to leverage yourself to get a job. A lot of you are on this call, you've had programs in the past, and one of the missing pieces is just most of the time, how do we articulate our knowledge base in an interview scenario, really? Um, the beautiful thing is this: the P5 theory, proper preparation prevents poor performance. At the end of the day, we got to just prepare. No matter how smart and intelligent we are, sometimes we just need a little bit of practice to get us into that groove. Very important we do that. All right, let's get more of us to jump into the Kahoot. All right, okay, good, 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 good. All right, all right, all right. Let's just get started and try and see if we can get a few of us. Okay, I can see cyber threat, Diamond, Arsenal. Ha ha ha. All right, Barcelona, Pearl, Lika, Judy, Ola, Maggie. All right, Snazzy. All right, we are getting more people join now. Excellent. Okay. All right, all right. Okay. All right, let's get started. Let's get started and see what we got. Just to kind of, squeeze and think through it a little bit more and just test your knowledge in general, see what you get. All right, true or false? SBAR stands for Situation, Background, Assessment, Recommendation. Is that true or is that false? What do you all think? Those of us in our community, you've seen us do some quiz, I think today, just to test us to see if we remember it, you know. Now, believe it or not, you might be on this call also. This is a project one of our team members had to do. And, you know, the project we worked on is a real life project, really. So take ownership of it and just make sure you understand the value of what you're doing. It's a real project, really. This person had to combat a lot of issues they have in the organization and apply SBAR to break it down into simple communication to present to their leadership. So this could be you tomorrow. That's the reality of it. All right, Man City, here we go. Ooh, all right. Okay, Arsenal, you never stop disappointing me. But let's see what you got. All right, what does SBAR stand for? Let's see what you got. Okay, clear, concise communication. Some of these, most of them are still true, but let's see the closest to the answer. Sometimes both answers will be right. So let's see. All right, excellent. Okay, Here we go. Okay. All right. Chelsea's always a spoiler. What is the purpose of SBAR in healthcare? Healthcare. Improve patient safety, enhance efficiency of communication, reduce miscommunication, facilitate care communication. I can make a case for virtually everything, but yeah, excellent. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Oh, facilitate care. Sometimes the closest answer, right? The key is clear communication. Even though I can agree with you, it reduces miscommunication, enhance communication efficiency. Those are true also. All right, let's see. Oh man, Chelsea refused to give up on this one. All right, let's see. What is the benefit of using SBAR for patient handoff? All right, that's it. For patient handoffs. Now, I think my nurses on the call would like this. Okay, that these guys are really relating it to our healthcare structure. But it's crazy because that's the reality. Sometimes a lot of people, because healthcare has been efficient with triaging because human lives are involved. So people take it serious, right? All right, improve communication efficiency. Let's see if we can kick Chelsea down. Man, Chelsea refused to go down. Arsenal is really on top of Chelsea. 4 points. All right, let's see. All right. How does SBAR facilitate communication between teams? So you have teams. How does it facilitate communication between teams? Somebody said, "Man, I'm done, man. I think Chelsea would just take over everything." Hey, don't give up. We can still kick them out, possibly. Here we go. Clear focus and organized communication. Okay, perfect. I like that too. Wow. Chelsea refused to give up on this one. Final one. Ha. Is SBAR a structured communication method? Is it structured or not? Excellent. Yes. All right. I guess we know the winner. All right. Okay. Coming tall. Let's give some love to Man City. And the second place, Arsenal. And the undisputed champion of the world at the moment, Mr. Chelsea. All right. Good job, folks. Very well done. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So we have 30 more minutes, and I'm just going to quickly share with us one very nice thing I think would be very relevant also. And we can at least take advantage of this too. So let me quickly share something that I thought was pretty cool. So remember again, I said the goal at the end of the day is how can we make this something we can use in a conversation ultimately, right? Remember again, for us, even though SBAR is used in the healthcare, we use it also to communicate effectively security incidents for clarity. So some organizations adopt it, and that was why I decided to sneak it into our program this time around because I realized, oh, okay, I've seen clients use it now, so we can as well make sure we are aware of it too. Now, some people would remember when there's an issue, incident, typically, one of the things people do, they would do a further analysis of the root cause, meaning what are the details, what is the potential root cause of this issue. So people really investigate deeper to get into the root cause of those issues many times. Now, that is also possible, right? But let's use this as a talking point and say, okay, look at this scenario. So somebody asks you, what's your experience remediating or fixing security incidents in the past, right? So this is a very good one. I think we can leverage. This is something you can easily say, hey, I worked in the capacity of doing analysis of an incident when there was a breach in our network, right? And the whole background was there was an intrusion detection system that detected an unusual network traffic pattern. And let's pause. All that is saying is that there are some tools out there. It's almost like your regular antivirus, but they are scanning your network, right? So when they discover patterns of any unusual concern within your network, let me give you an example. If suddenly there's a spike in IP connect or attempt to connect to a network from a location that you don't have any presence or you don't have any vendors there that remotely log into your network, then naturally that is anomaly, right? It's abnormal within your business. So your system will pick it up typically. If somebody is constantly trying to make a failed attempt to log into your, account, that's why when you have two, three times attempt on your password, it automatically lock you up, right? Because the system has seen some inconsistency, right? The pattern has shown, okay, this might be a compromised, situation. So the system will flag it. Sometimes it will just totally just shut you down and ask you to wait for certain hours. But this is a rule that is baked into that process already. So, you know, but anyway, just wanted to give you some context around it, right? So in this case, it also raised concern about unauthorized access to sensitive patient data. Remember, this is healthcare. So that's the background. So I'm kind of telling the potential interviewee that, okay, the IDS, intrusion detection system, flagged an unusual pattern, and the concern was specifically unauthorized access to sensitive patient data. That was the issue. And immediately, this was discovered. We analyzed the potential impact on patient privacy and regulatory compliance, and we analyzed the log. Forensic analysis was done in collaboration with the incident response team. Now, when there is an incident in real time, right, security incident, mostly there's an incident response team that is immediately activated. So most of the time, it's not like you as a GRC analyst or a third party risk analyst or risk analyst, you are the one going to do the forensic. You have to be aware and ensure that the incident response team has been activated. Their role, their job is to do those forensic and analyze the network, the pattern. And don't stress it. Most of these folks already have tools they use to do it. It's not like they're manually looking at it and saying, "Oh, they have tools that will speed it out." Then they look at the pattern, they look at the logs, they look if there was any anomaly, they look if there was any alert or breach compromise that is obvious. Then, based on that, they can do further analysis. Sometimes they will have to bring the vendor of the solution they are using. Sometimes you might even bring law enforcement, depending on how critical the incident is in that case, right? But anyway, based on my assessment, I immediately recommended taking the system offline to prevent further compromise in our system. And, and also make sure that we notify the appropriate authorities as needed in that instance. But the point I'm making is you have a structural approach on how you report an issue within your environment. That's the gist about it. And for those of us that were on the call, remember what we did? We also went further to actually we used ChatGPT to simulate the issues we had and ask it to break it down into an SBAR model. Now, somebody will ask and say, well, can I do that in real work? Yes. Yes. Simple. Every environment today I know, either they have their own large learning model, right, that they are using, or they've adopted maybe Copilot. Now, you might make the case that, well, can it potentially cause further risk or exposure of sensitive data? You would just have to figure a way to make sure you don't include sensitive data when you prompt. But it would be crazy, in my opinion, not to use some of these enablers to make you efficient, really. So you have to be efficient, really. Because if you waste time, honest truth is that you're wasting time. Think like a business person too, right? If you can fix a problem in 5 minutes, then you want to wait for 1 hour based on principle that you don't want to use an efficient tool. It makes no sense. Like some years back, you telling me I don't want to use Google because I can easily use my textbook. It doesn't make sense, right? So the world has changed. We're going to change too. We're going to make sure we're efficient. That's the key word at the end of the day. All right. So, but that's really the gist of why I wanted to bring that in because every interview, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have been part of many interviews and you're still trying to make attempt to break in, people want you to talk about issues that you've resolved because every environment would have issues. Most of the time, the issues might be aging, old issues. They want to see how did you fix them. So that's a big piece of the puzzle. So make sure you're always, you know, you think along that line as a professional. Let me see some comments here. All right. Okay, I like this. Somebody said, okay, ha 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 ha. Up Chelsea, thank you. Increase activity outside of regular hours. Yes, that's a big one out there. Thank you, Balanle. Example of tools they use. Okay, that's a good point. So there are many tools out there people use. Um, when we talk about scanning of network, people use tools like Nexus, Metasploit, Qualys, Wiz, QRadar. There are so many tools. Now, the fundamentals those tools do are the same, right? They are checking for pattern. And the truth is, most of it, Microsoft has Defender too. Cisco has its own packet tracing tool. There are so many tools out there, really, at the end of the day. So the key is figure solution a tool that work best for your own organization. That's the way it is. Wireshark is also used to track packets within different environment. Also, there's Nmap. So there are a lot of tools, but sometimes those are not at enterprise level to check. But those are good tools for those of us that we have a technical class coming up sometime March ending or early April. Make sure you join it. It talks about Metasploit, um, Wireshark. Then you're going to do offense defense. So it's a lot of amazing stuff. You're going to touch a lot of those technical stuff. I think even if you're a cyber GRC person, it's smart to have that knowledge for the purpose of having better intelligent conversation in any setting. So it's just a plus, really. That's the way I would approach it personally. Okay, cool. So I think that's really the gist. Let me see if I have some other question before I quickly sneak in the topic of Saturday. I'll just give you guys a snapshot of it, just a sneak peek of it. All right. But it's just amazing, really. I'm excited about it. Really excited because of, I think, first reason I'm excited is it took us a long time to build the solution. So, So, I mean, it was a relief that, okay, we got something really good that we can feel proud of. That, okay, we developed something really cool, really cool, really cool. You guys will love it. So, I mean, it's amazing. By the time we are done with the formatting and everything, I think you will love it. But I'll just show you for the purpose of to give you some context around what what I said I was going to show you guys, and just to give you, man, don't miss it for anything. To be honest, well, you have access to the video anyway. If you miss it, no big deal. But if you can avoid not to miss it, don't miss it for anything. All right, let me quickly show you guys the screen of the solution. Let's stop screen share. Let me share again. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, let me see if you guys can see my screen. It's an Excel spreadsheet I'm sharing. Let me double check and make sure you all are seeing the screen. Okay, now don't care for now what you see, but let me just explain it so you can have an idea of what you're looking at right now. It is super awesome. Okay, so typically NIST will give you all the different domain areas, right? The new one that was added was govern, right? Now, this is the three things that was provided to us. The function, the category, and subcategory was what was provided. Now, guess what we added to it right now? We added assessment questions. Bingo. Let me highlight it so you can feel good about it, folks. It's amazing. Crazy. We added evidence requested. We added the point of contact you should typically request to meet. So let me tell you what this is. I mean, for real, if you don't, I mean, man, you have a gold mine. You don't know what this is. You have the only thing why I'm not pushing this out at the moment is I'm trying to automate it so that when you score it, it would automatically be showing it in a graph format and it will just be summarizing it automatically for us. So it will just be a document on steroid in a good way. Crazy. It means the assessment is something you're going to be, as you're doing an assessment, is scoring it. I mean, you have no clue what this is. It's crazy. This is what we typically would charge 300 grand for a 3 weeks project or 2 weeks project. So when I say this is a potential million to $5 million pipeline, that's what I mean. This is the billing rate for folks in the consulting world, really. My consulting folks, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. This is crazy stuff. I mean, if you're in McKinsey, Bain, Ernst& Young, Deloitte, Capgemini, IBM, you know what I'm talking about, right? This is how we do it. But anyway, the proprietary part for us at Skillwit is this. So the beautiful thing, so imagine this. This is the new thing that came out. Governance. Organizational mission is understood and informs cybersecurity risk management, right? This is what NIST says we should ask for. When you do an assessment, you are asking the leadership. See who you're asking this? The CEO. I've told you who you're going to be asking. The CEO or the equivalent, maybe a VP of operation, somebody that is really a decision maker, a strategy person. You're asking them, how is the organization mission defined and communicated within the organization? How are cyber risk management aligned with your organization? You're asking them these questions, right? And you're expecting them to provide these similar evidences here. Then, it's crazy stuff. Then, based on their response, you can decide to score them. So let's say this CEO, all the response does not make sense to you. You just come in and score them 3. You know, um, Now the beautiful thing now, as you're scoring this CEO, I've not built that part yet. I'm still working on that. It will start showing scorecard here. This. Let me see if you guys are seeing my screen. Let me be sure. All right. Yeah, yeah, seeing the screen. It will begin to show this scorecard here, the numbers here. It will even drill down to go to Then the beautiful thing, it will even show you in a graphical format. So if you are doing an assessment as you are working on it, you can start showing your leadership, hey, this domain area, this section, they are scoring well. This section, they are doing horrible. It's just amazing too. It's crazy. So, make sure you're here on Saturday. That's where I'm pushing you all to be here on Saturday. It's going to be very, very effective. And I'll try and my commitment is I'll push something out. It won't be the final version, but at least you have something to kind of mentally make you know, okay, yeah, we're making progress. It will have not been automated yet. The automation might be next week. By the time we fully automate the process, it becomes graphical. We are pushing it along a global wide network. So you see a lot on LinkedIn. You see people download all over the world. But I want to make sure we start first. But it's amazing too. Now, don't forget, this came out on the 26th, less than 10 days ago. Yeah, and we've built a solution already. Crazy. I'm excited about it. Took me a long time with other professionals. So, somebody said, "Did you send it on? Well, what's up? Good try." I'm not sending it yet. I'm still working on it myself. So you'll see the first draft in the class on Saturday. It will not be the final version. I'll just give you guys the tip of the iceberg. The tooling, the book relevant to it, also all of those will come up possibly next week. But look out for it, okay? But really, that's really the gist for our program today. Hopefully, this was helpful. Somebody said, "What time on Saturday?" For those of us doing internship, we know our time is 12 Central Time for the internship program. For my cyber GRC folks registered, you all are awesome. Thank you. Our class is 2 Central Time. And for everybody in our community, one thing we are doing, just wanted to sneak this in for your knowledge, is we have a couple of things coming up. Just to give you a heads up, we are partners with CompTIA. You'll see the announcement likely, if it's not this Friday, probably early next week. It's formal, so we'll be offering all the CompTIA program, Security Plus for a start. So be ready, take all those certifications too. It helps and enabled us to have better access on our technical platform. We are partners now with another platform that is just amazing. So all those technical skills, you can, we'll teach the technical part, then we'll use those simulation to use to give you that strength and depth to be very um, good at it. Now, one thing we can commit to is, remember again, the more knowledge you know, the better. The truth is, at the end of the day, we're not going to just quit and say, well, because at the moment I am not where I'm desiring to be, and stop building. The key is incremental knowledge. It won't be all big at once, little by little. The body of work over time is what matters. Now, more importantly, let me tell you one reality is that when the universe open and things start working out, you start thinking everything is good, you're smart, you're that. No, you've forgotten all the time you spent to do a class and come and just hang out with someone that you have no clue who he is also, and every one of those little knowledge makes a world of difference. My challenge is, if I can get you to think different a little bit, believe in yourself. The reality is, a lot of people are doing this, they are not as smart as you, guaranteed. I'll tell you that all the time, not because I'm trying to BS you, really. It's just the reality of it. It's just people just believe they can do it, that's all. So I challenge you, your belief system uplifted too. And one thing we try to do and encourage our community is, we have a club with, it's a reading club. We call it rum. It's just a place where we just get a, well, it's not rum as in drinking rum, but it's a reading unique thing that we just, but anyway, it's a great program. Just join that group. And what we do in that group is, we share every week, we read a book. And my challenge to everybody, I'm sending the link here. My challenge to everybody is this: one book can change everything for you. Imagine all of us reading one book every week, just one, you know, a book every week. And all you need is an idea from one book. You don't need a whole lot, just one idea, you know? Because the only way I know we can expand the vision and our thinking is through enlarging our mind. Everything is a mindset. So I challenge you, increase your mindset too, you know? But okay, somebody said this. I like this. John, thank you. John said NIST 853A has a similar to people use in government agency. You're right. Yeah. And the beautiful thing, there are so many tools. Yeah, it's similar. There are so many tools out there. What a lot of organizations do is, they would market their product as a proprietary product, then sell it to different services. So I could take some of the government tools, integrate with it with mine, and build my own solution, and just say, okay, it's a proprietary tool. That's it. So people do that too. You're right. But there are many tools out there. But the beautiful thing about this is, I think I've not seen any new one in the last 10 days, because the new it just came out last week, right? So I think we are pioneers on this one, because it's less than 10 days. So we'll ride with it. At least let our community enjoy it, leverage it, use it in interviews. I can't wait to have us chat on Saturday, because I want you to leverage it big time. Just own it and be excited to talk about it in a setting. People will respect you immediately, because you're going to give them immediate value. You can even show them and say, hey, look at the tool I'm talking about. This is what up. It's crazy. You have credibility immediately. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Remember to jam that like, folks. Come on. What do you have to lose? Come on, give us some like. Thank you, everybody. That's all we got. Another thing I always like to share with us as a community, we have tons of things out there. Sometimes I hate to see our team stress when there are so many tons of information. Let me quickly show you all something before we bounce. Um, If you go to our skill with website, because sometimes people just don't know it's there. So let me just quickly show you what we have. So some of these are very, very, very important because you just never know. So you go to the skill with website, you know, you have an interview coming up. We have some topics you can just go in there and just see some questions for general interviews. There are some other documents. We go to the free ebook here. For those of us doing a cyber GRC interview, just come and download those. Just go there and download it. Really, it's really designed for you in mind. So just don't stress yourself, man. Just go download stuff like that. There's so many good stuff out there, and we keep building, adding stuff. But this is the most exciting one for me. The NIST document we just built this week, and once we finalize it, the first draft for sure, I'll send it to our community maybe Saturday. Now, full disclosure, disclaimer, it's still draft, so the main one will be out maybe next week, end of next week or something. All right, that's all we got. Thank you so much. God bless, and always remember, impossible is nothing. You got what it takes, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Take care, everybody. For my cyber guys, I'll see you guys at the other side. Ha ha ha.